USS Monaghan was one of the most advanced ships in the Pacific Fleet. Nuclear-powered, loaded with radar systems, AI-guided drones, and a propulsion engine built in Germany, it was also stuck, dead in the water. Day 12. The crew was running on backup power. The mission had been delayed, and morale was cracking like cold metal. Admiral Rowan stood on deck, hands behind his back. 3 engineering teams had already tried and failed. It's not the cooling system. The combustion timing's perfect. We've run every diagnostic possible. Still, the ship wouldn't move. The Navy had spent over $2.1 million on expert consultations, parts, and shipping. Nothing worked. Until one night, Rowan sat alone in his cabin, sipping black coffee, and remembered a name. Chief Petty Officer Calvin Briggs. Briggs had retired 22 years ago. He was old school, wrenches, oil, and feel. Could fix a ship with a bent nail and a curse. Rowan had once been his student, back when he was a fresh ensign and Briggs was already a legend. He picked up the sat phone and made a call. "Chief Briggs, this is Admiral Rowan." There was a pause. "Well, I'll be damned. You finally broke something you can't order fixed." 6 hours later, a chopper landed on the deck of the USS Monaghan. Out stepped a man in his 70s, hunched, with a gray mustache and a toolbox older than most of the crew. Briggs nodded at the Admiral. "Show me the problem." They led him to the engine room. The younger engineers explained everything: schematics, sensors, logs. He listened quietly, didn't touch a computer, didn't even look at the digital screens. Instead, he walked around, tapped pipes with a wrench, listened, smelled the air, closed his eyes, and put one hand on the main turbine casing. Then he turned to the crew. "You got a 3mm imbalance on your second fuel intake. It's vibrating just enough to throw off ignition sequencing. Give me 10 minutes. He pulled out one wrench, tightened a bolt, tapped a line with the heel of his boot, then stepped back. "Try it now." The crew powered it on. For the first time in 12 days, the engine roared to life. Steady, smooth, strong. The deck vibrated. The lights stabilized. People started cheering. But Briggs just lit a cigarette and walked away. Briggs sat on the back deck as the sun dipped into the sea. The engine hummed below like a sleeping giant. Crew passed by and nodded, whispered. Some saluted, but he just smoked, quiet. The next morning, he handed a folded paper to the Admiral. An invoice, one-line item. Technical, diagnostic, and repair, $10,000. Rowan blinked. $10,000? You tightened one bolt. Briggs didn't flinch. "Correct. We flew you in, fed you. You were here less than 24 hours. "Yup." Rowan frowned. "You gotta break that down for me." Briggs pulled a pen from behind his ear and rewrote the invoice. Line 1, tightening bolt, $1. Line 2, knowing which bolt to tighten, $9,999. Rowan stared, then laughed, full and genuine. "You old bastard." But back at base, the Navy's procurement office wasn't laughing. They flagged the invoice, said it was excessive, said they needed a cost justification, said a 77-year-old couldn't possibly know more than 10 MIT-trained engineers. So Briggs was summoned for a hearing. He walked in alone. No lawyer, no notes, just the same battered toolbox in his hand. An officer at the table said, "Mr. Briggs, you charge 10,000ers for 5 minutes of work. Do you think that's fair?" Briggs opened his box, pulled out a small, crooked wrench, held it up. "This here saved a mission that cost $1.3 billion. It got 138 sailors home. It proved that sometimes experience beats instruction." He put the wrench down. "You can pay me, or spend 10 more days floating blind while your experts scratch their heads." Silence. Then applause. From the back of the room, a civilian. "Rowan." The payment was approved. Briggs didn't spend it. He donated it to a scholarship fund for low-income kids to attend mechanical trade schools. When asked why, he said, "Some folks want to be astronauts, but someone's gotta build the engines that get 'em there." Years later, that same wrench, bent and scratched, was placed in a glass case aboard the USS Monaghan. A plaque below read, "Not all heroes wear rank. Some carry a toolbox." Thank you for watching. If you want to get more that kind of stories, press like and check out our channel.